In this prison, the yard isn't just a place to exercise. It's a battlefield. Inmates gather in groups, their eyes scanning for weakness, for opportunity. Every glance, every movement can trigger a fight. Violence here isn't random, it's strategic, a way to assert dominance over rivals. Inside these walls, the true authority doesn't belong to the guards, it belongs to the gangs. Drug cartels, street gangs, and violent factions divide the prison into territories. Respect is earned through fear, cunning, and brutality. One wrong move can cost everything, from food to life itself. Over the years, riots have become almost routine in this prison. Flames erupt in cell blocks, screams echo through concrete corridors, and chaos rules for hours. One riot alone claimed more than 30 lives. Survivors speak of sheer terror of being trapped as friends and enemies alike fought to survive. While escape is nearly impossible, there have been shocking attempts. Inmates bribed guards, dug tunnels, and created elaborate distractions. Some succeeded, vanishing into the outside world. Others were caught mid-escape, punished in ways that send a warning to anyone daring to try again. For those inside, fear is a constant companion. Every interaction carries risk. Meals, showers, even sleep can turn deadly. The most dangerous inmates aren't always the ones with the biggest reputations. They're the ones who are silent, calculating, and willing to do whatever it takes to survive. This prison has housed some of the most infamous criminals in the world. Murderers, cartel leaders, and gang bosses walk its halls. Their presence alone instills fear, and their influence reaches far beyond the prison walls. For many, just sharing a cell with them is a nightmare they can never escape. Even those sworn to maintain order live in constant danger. Guards are often outnumbered and outmatched. Some survive by keeping distance, some by forming alliances, and some by simply hoping to make it through their shift unscathed. Inside these walls, authority is fragile, fleeting, and deadly. Smuggling isn't just common, it's a lifeline. Weapons, drugs, even cell phones flow through hidden networks. Bribes and threats keep the system running, ensuring that the most dangerous items and people stay in constant circulation. Control here isn't about law, it's about power, and those who have it bend the rules to their favor. Inmates learn quickly. Survival isn't about brute strength alone, it's about intelligence, alliances, and timing. Some spend years navigating the deadly social hierarchies, learning when to fight and when to disappear. Mistakes are punished swiftly, often without warning. In this place, experience is priceless and ignorance is fatal. Some cell blocks have reputations that precede them. Inmates whisper of the block of death, where fights erupt daily and survival is measured by who can outlast the others. Guards rarely enter alone. Here, even a small disagreement can escalate into lethal violence in seconds. Murder is not uncommon. Over the years, some of the most brutal killings in modern prison history have taken place within these walls. Knives fashioned from toothbrushes, pipes, or broken glass, anything can become a weapon. And once a killing occurs, retaliation can spiral for weeks, leaving dozens injured or dead. Rival gangs control separate territories, but the boundaries are constantly tested. A stolen item, a disrespectful look, or even a whispered insult can trigger a full-scale riot. Inmates are forced to choose sides quickly. Refusing to choose can make someone a target for both factions. Over the decades, some inmates attempted the impossible. One notorious attempt involved tunneling beneath the prison for months, only to be discovered at the last moment. Another saw prisoners smuggle in tools and overpower guards, only to be hunted down in the yard. Every failed escape only strengthened the prison's fearsome reputation. Not every inmate survives through violence. Many survive through silence, observation, and cunning. These are the loners who rarely speak, rarely act, but always watch. Their presence is unsettling. In a place where the loudest and strongest often rule, the quiet ones are the most dangerous. Corruption runs deep. Guards turn a blind eye for bribes. Some inmates use money or favors to secure safety, weapons, or privileges. In this environment, loyalty is fleeting, and trust is a currency far more valuable than gold. The system may seem rigid, but under the surface, it is a web of influence and manipulation. Life in prison is not structured by schedules or rules, it is dictated by fear. Inmates wake up anticipating fights, betrayals, and threats. Meals are monitored for power struggles. Even sleep is dangerous. Survival is an art form, honed over years of violence, vigilance, and instinct. Some inmates become legends. One known as the executioner earned his reputation after multiple killings in a single year, all within the walls of the prison. Another, a former cartel leader, controlled the block entirely from behind bars, ordering assaults, extortion, and even murders without ever leaving his cell. These are the stories that make this prison infamous worldwide. Even the most hardened guards admit fear. They have seen officers attacked, overpowered, and sometimes killed. The most experienced know when to intervene and when to let chaos unfold, because stepping in at the wrong moment can cost them their lives. Authority here is fragile, fleeting, and dangerous. Solitary confinement is often called the prison within the prison. For weeks, months, or even years, inmates are isolated in tiny cells with nothing but their thoughts. The walls close in, silence becomes deafening, and the mind can turn against itself. Some leave solitary changed forever. Others don't leave at all. Power doesn't always come from violence. Some inmates rule through intelligence, manipulation, and fear. One cartel boss, confined to a single cell, orchestrated smuggling operations, assaults, and even murders across the prison. Guards and inmates alike feared his influence, knowing a single order could change life or end it. Weapons are everywhere. Makeshift knives, shanks, and even smuggled firearms circulate in secret networks. Inmates craft these tools from toothbrushes, metal scraps, and plastic. Possessing a weapon isn't just about defense, it's about survival, respect, and the ability to dominate others. Money and favors are as lethal as knives here. Drugs, cigarettes, and food are bartered or sold. Bribes to guards secure safety or access to forbidden areas. Every transaction carries risk. Trust the wrong person, and you could lose everything or your life. In this prison, economics and violence are inseparable. Some inmates have left a mark on the prison that can never be erased. One man, convicted of multiple murders before entering, continued his spree inside, instilling fear in every new arrival. Others became known for their cunning, eluding authorities, escaping detection, and surviving assassinations that claimed dozens. Over the years, some deaths inside this prison have shocked the world. Gang wars, surprise attacks, and brutal retaliations have left dozens dead in a single night. Investigations often reveal corruption, collusion, and cover-ups. For the outside world, these deaths are news headlines. Inside, they are survival lessons. Every year, inmates try to escape. Some dig tunnels, others scale walls, and some attempt disguises or bribery. Most fail. Some are executed by guards during the attempt. Others face brutal retaliation afterward. Every failed escape adds to the prison's deadly legend and serves as a warning for those who dream of freedom. Every day, fear shapes life here. Inmates calculate every move, what to say, who to watch, who to avoid. Food is fought over. Cells are battlegrounds. A simple disagreement can escalate into a fight or a death sentence. In this environment, vigilance isn't optional. It's survival. In this prison, violence isn't always physical. Threats, manipulation, and psychological games are weapons just as deadly as knives or bats. Inmates torment each other, mentally spreading rumors, isolating targets, and exploiting fears. Some break completely under the pressure, others adapt, becoming predators of the mind. Within these walls, gangs aren't just groups, they are kingdoms. Some control entire cell blocks, enforcing rules with fear and violence. Their influence stretches to every corner: meals, showers, even visits. Rivalries are fierce, and crossing a gang can mean instant death. In this prison, the strongest survive, and the smartest avoid attention. Some rivalries have lasted decades. Hatreds are passed down, alliances shift, and vendettas never die. One fight between rival factions once left 15 dead in a single night. Prisoners remember these battles for life, and even those who walk free outside cannot escape the shadow of these ancient grudges. For some, the ultimate punishment isn't just confinement, it's death row. Inmates wait for hours, days, or even years in solitary cells, counting down to the inevitable. The psychological toll is unimaginable. Every sound, every step, every whisper outside the cell can be a reminder of the fate that awaits. Some crack under the pressure. Some become hardened, indifferent to their own mortality. Some murders inside this prison have become infamous beyond its walls. One inmate, already convicted of multiple homicides, continued killing within the prison itself, targeting anyone who disrespected him or threatened his control. Each act of violence reinforced the unspoken rule: respect is earned through fear and taken through blood. Not every survivor relies on brute strength. Some live through cunning and strategy. They observe, manipulate, and play mind games. These inmates are patient predators, waiting for the perfect moment to act. They understand that in a place where chaos reigns, intelligence can be as deadly as any weapon. Decades of violence, corruption, and death have left a legacy that haunts this prison. Each generation of inmates inherits the rules, the rivalries, and the fear. Guards come and go, riots erupt, but the cycle remains. The prison doesn't just hold criminals, it creates them, molds them, and sometimes destroys them entirely. Among the horror, some survive against all odds. Stories emerge of inmates who escaped attacks, outsmarted gangs, and navigated the deadly politics of prison life. These are tales of cunning, bravery, and sometimes sheer luck. In a world where death is always near, survival becomes an art form. From the outside, this prison is seen as a place of punishment, a warning, a headline. But for those inside, it is far more than that. It is a battlefield, a chessboard, a nightmare that is lived every single day. And while outsiders fear the inmates, inside these walls, fear rules everyone equally. Escapes from this prison are nearly impossible, but they happen. Some inmates bribed guards, dug hidden tunnels, or created elaborate distractions. One notorious escape involved a group of prisoners sawing through metal bars over months, only to vanish into the night. Most are caught, some punished brutally, and a few never seen again. Corruption runs deep. Some guards look the other way, others accept bribes, and a few actively assist dangerous inmates. This complicity creates an invisible network of power that allows violence and crime to flourish. For many prisoners, understanding who is corrupt and who isn't can mean the difference between life and death. Riot after riot has left this prison notorious worldwide. One incident saw inmates set fire to entire cell blocks, overwhelming guards and destroying property. Chaos reigned for hours. When order was restored, dozens were dead, dozens more injured, and the prison's fearsome reputation was reinforced yet again. Some inmates eventually leave, but freedom is rarely a return to normalcy. The world outside is foreign after years of constant danger. The rivalries, the trauma, the psychological scars they follow them. Many struggle to adapt, haunted by what they survived, and some return, drawn back into the life they thought they had escaped. Inside the world's most dangerous prison, every day is a fight for survival. Fear, violence, cunning, and corruption shape life here. For those inside, life is measured not in hours or days, but in survival, one decision, one move, one misstep at a time. And for the outside world, it remains a place that fascinates, terrifies, and warns us of just how dark humanity can become when law and order fall away. This is more than a prison. It's a world unto itself, a place where only the strongest, smartest, and sometimes luckiest survive. A place that will haunt anyone who steps inside and anyone who dares to imagine life behind its walls.